Imagine a world with no smartphones, no streetlights, and no alarms screaming at you to wake up. Just the sun rising, the gentle crow of a rooster, and your body naturally ready to start the day. Sounds impossible? It wasn't. In fact, this was everyday life for medieval peasants. And what if I told you that, despite sleeping on straw mattresses, inside homes made of wood and mud, they actually slept better than most of us do today? Not because they had luxury, but because they had something we've lost: alignment with nature. Let's uncover the forgotten sleep secrets of the Middle Ages, and how these poor peasants might have unlocked the kind of deep, restorative rest we spend billions trying to achieve today. Back then, there were no clocks ticking away your freedom, no electric lights pushing your bedtime later, no addictive screens stealing your attention and your rest. Life followed the sun. When it rose, you woke. When it set, your day ended. This wasn't a lifestyle trend. It was the rhythm of survival. And the result? Their bodies weren't confused. Hormones like melatonin kicked in exactly when they were supposed to, because their brains weren't being blasted by blue light at 11 p.m. Modern life has disconnected us from this natural rhythm. We're overstimulated, overlit, and overcaffeinated. And our sleep suffers. But for the medieval peasant, bedtime was sacred and simple. And here's something even more surprising: they didn't sleep all night in one go. Most peasants practiced what today's scientists are rediscovering: segmented sleep. They would drift off shortly after dusk, sleep for 4 or 5 hours, then wake up. But they didn't panic like we would today. That middle-of-the-night wakefulness? It was expected. They used it for quiet reflection. Some prayed. Others tended fires. Some shared hushed conversations, or even intimacy. It was a time of stillness, not stress. After an hour or two, they would return to their straw beds for their second sleep, and wake again at dawn, fully rested. This two-part sleep was actually more in tune with human biology than our modern 8-hour expectation. When modern people are removed from artificial lights and clocks, they naturally fall into the same rhythm: 2 sleeps, with peaceful wakefulness in between. Our ancestors didn't need sleep hacks. They were the blueprint. And while we stare at ceilings begging for rest, they slipped into it effortlessly: no apps, no melatonin pills, no podcasts guiding them into slumber. Just darkness, stillness, and nature's clock. But what about comfort? Surely, sleeping on a pile of straw couldn't have been good, right? Actually, it was smarter than we think. They used palaces, sacks filled with fresh straw. Soft, breathable, and replaced each season after harvest. Fresh straw had bounce and flexibility, naturally molding to the body. And best of all, it was free. The idea of changing the bed stuffing every few months? That's more hygienic and customizable than most modern mattresses. And peasants didn't sleep alone. Families shared beds, not just from necessity, but for warmth and connection. Imagine sleeping next to your loved ones, wrapped in thick wool blankets, with no artificial light, no noise, no pressure to wake up at a specific time. Just shared breath, shared warmth, and uninterrupted rest. Now, let's talk about the homes they slept in. Peasant houses were made from timber, mud, straw, and in many cases, yes, even manure. They weren't glamorous, but they were brilliant in ways modern homes aren't. These houses stayed cool in summer and chilly in winter, not because of insulation but because of natural airflow. Their walls, made of wattle and daub, had tiny gaps that allowed fresh air to move through constantly. It prevented the buildup of carbon dioxide and kept their environment breathable. At night, as temperatures dropped outside, the indoor air cooled with it. And that's exactly what sleep science recommends today. Cooler environments help trigger deeper, more restorative rest. Modern people spend hundreds on smart thermostats and cooling mattresses. Medieval peasants? They just opened a window. Their fireplaces weren't left burning through the night. Fuel was precious. Instead, they'd let the fire warm the room before sleep and allow it to die down. The leftover heat from the hearth, thermal mass, kept the space warm enough. Add to that thick wool clothing, nightcaps, and heavy blankets, and you've got the perfect combination: a warm body in a cool room. Exactly what today's experts tell us to aim for. And that floor? It may have been dirt or stone, but it helped stabilize the indoor temperature. No dust-trapping carpets. No foam trapping heat. Even the simplicity of the room itself mattered. No clutter. No screens. No furniture blocking airflow. Just open space, breathable materials, and quiet. Today, we try to declutter our bedrooms with guides and apps. They lived it by default. But the real secret behind their incredible sleep? Exhaustion. Not the anxious, mental kind that comes from emails and stress. The physical kind. Peasants worked. All day. Every day. They didn't have gyms or fitness trackers. But they moved from sunrise to sunset, carrying buckets, chopping wood, grinding grain, washing clothes by hand, walking miles through fields. No multitasking. No meetings. No burnout. Just honest, full-body labor. The kind that leaves you sore, satisfied, and ready to fall asleep the moment your head hits the pillow. We pay to run on treadmills for 30 minutes. They burned thousands of calories before lunch just by surviving. Their activity wasn't just physical, it was purposeful. Every action had a result. A loaf of bread. A pile of firewood. A warm bed. And that sense of purpose, combined with physical fatigue, created the perfect cocktail for deep sleep. Even the timing of meals played a role. Their biggest meal came midday, fuel for the afternoon's work. Dinner was small and early, often finished hours before sleep. No heavy food sitting in their stomachs. No late-night snacks. No caffeine disrupting their cycles. Their bodies were ready to rest, because everything they did throughout the day supported rest. Now, here's where it gets truly fascinating. They had herbal sleep science, long before labs and pharmaceuticals. Lavender, chamomile, valerian root. These weren't trendy ingredients. They were tools passed down for generations. Families dried herbs, hung them from beams, made teas, and crafted sleep pillows filled with calming scents. Some placed sachets of lavender under pillows. Others brewed chamomile tea as part of a bedtime ritual. Valerian was saved for tough nights, illness, grief, or deep anxiety. No pills. No labels. Just gardens, knowledge, and care. Preparing these herbs wasn't just practical, it was emotional. It was family. It was storytelling. It was trust in nature. And it worked. And the power of this herbal wisdom wasn't just in the plants, it was in the ritual. Imagine ending your day by brewing tea with your family. Quietly sitting together. Talking. Preparing for rest. Not rushing, not numbing, not distracting. The herbs signaled the body, it's time to wind down. And your nervous system listened. It wasn't just sleep. It was peace. This knowledge was passed down through mothers, grandmothers, village healers, shared like recipes, like lullabies. And everyone knew it. From the youngest child to the oldest elder, sleep wasn't feared. It was honored. So, what happened? Why, with all our modern advances, do we sleep worse than they did? Because we've lost the connection. We don't follow the sun. We don't listen to our bodies. We fight sleep. Distract from it. Avoid it. We treat it like a problem to solve, not a rhythm to trust. Medieval peasants, for all their struggles, never lost that trust. They let nature guide them. They lived in sync with time, seasons, weather, and work. And they slept in straw, like royalty. We buy weighted blankets. They had wool. We track REM cycles. They tracked the stars. We pop pills. They picked herbs. Maybe they didn't have luxury, but they had rest. Restorative. And maybe that's the luxury we're all still chasing. So next time you lie in bed, mind racing, eyes burning from your screen, think of them. In a quiet house. Beneath a thatched roof. Wrapped in wool. A lavender sachet near their head. A fire dying softly in the hearth. And the stars rising overhead. No apps. No alarms. Just breath. Stillness. And sleep. If this story made you think differently about rest, hit like. Subscribe for more forgotten wisdom. And maybe tonight, try going to bed a little earlier. Who knows? You just might wake up feeling medieval.